Earlier this year, Rode released the NT1, which I immediately fell in love with. Not only did it sound great, but it included both XLR and USB, so you can only imagine how excited I was when they recently announced a brand new one, the NT1 Signature Series. And I mean, this one must be even better, right? Maybe it sounds better, maybe it has like physical buttons now, maybe there's a headphone jack, maybe it washes your car, maybe it takes you for a walk if you're feeling a bit low, maybe it comes in a variety of colors such as red, green, blue, purple, pink, and black.
It's the same.
Oh, what's the point then?
It's took away the USB port.
Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not reviewing that then. What's the point?
Oh, it says here it's cheaper too.
Nah, it's not worth it.
Oh, and it also comes in a variety of colours, such as red, purple, green, pink, and...
I'm in.
This video is made by Radio.co. To start your free Radio.co trial in seconds, head to Radio.co and click on the pricing page.
Rode sent over the new NT1 Signature Series very recently, so big thank you to Rode for doing that. This isn't sponsored though, so I can be as ruthless as I like, but luckily for Rode, I don't need to be because it's still the NT1 and it's a great mic. Spoilers. Like I sort of mentioned in the intro, the NT1 Signature Series is basically the same mic as the NT1 5th generation. It's a brilliant condenser mic, which only really changes one key aspect, but it is quite a key aspect, so we thought maybe it was worth comparing them anyway. So rather than repeat myself and go over the same ground that we did 9 months ago when we reviewed this one, here's what I said back then. So here it is, all plugged in and ready to go. And Rode claims the NT1 is the most popular condenser mic in the world. Now, I don't know if that's true, but it's certainly a very, very popular condenser mic, and I know a lot of people who have one of the previous generations will be looking to upgrade. Rode has also included unclippable 32-bit float recording, and this together should provide a huge range when recording loud sounds or really quiet sounds. Basically, everything should be able to be fixed in post. There's also high SPL capabilities and even advanced signal processing on board. So you know the drill by now with condenser mics, obviously they only pick up the sounds in front of you, so when you go to the side, like so, it's going to lose out on a bit of sound. They're also more susceptible to picking up background noise, so obviously you're going to want to use this more in like a studio environment or just a really, really quiet room. It's not like a dynamic mic, which is great for being out and about. You'll want to be inside for this. The NT1 in the past has mostly been used in recording booths, which is why it's so popular with musicians, for example, or even like podcasters, because some podcasters are in studios. So like I say, the main difference here is that the USB port is no more. And props to Rode, they haven't really like tried to make this out to be some sort of revolutionary fancy change, because it isn't. It's literally done to cut costs by the seams of things. At time of recording, you can pick up the signature model for about £139, whereas the original 5th gen is about £185, something like that. So that's about what, £46 difference, so not a huge gap. And if you're never going to use that USB port, then it makes a lot of sense. But what are the benefits of Rode's dual connect feature? Well, there's roughly 3. Number 1 is probably the main reason, and that is with an XLR port, you're obviously going to need something like a Rodecaster Pro, or like a mixer, an audio interface, something where you can control the sound and use presets, like on the Rodecaster Pro 2, you can turn various presets on and off and change the sound profile more to your liking. However, if you don't have a Rodecaster Pro and you simply don't have the budget for one right now, then having the USB port is great because it means you can plug it into your laptop, download the free Rode Connect software, and that basically acts like a Rodecaster Pro, which is great because it means you don't miss out on features, and it also means that you can use Rode's brilliant presets, such as my favorite, Big Bottom. So while you might be spending an extra £46 on getting the USB, you're saving yourself, God knows how much a Rodecaster Pro 2 is at the moment, probably upwards of about £400. The second reason is equally important, but mainly for amateurs. So if you're just starting out, the Rode 5th generation has something called 32-bit float recording that's only accessible when using USB mode. This basically means that no matter how much you screw up, whether that be you're peaking all the time or you're too quiet, the 32-bit float recording should help you salvage the audio at all times. Now, obviously, this isn't always going to be the case. There's always going to be moments in post-production when something drastically has gone wrong. So it's not a save all, but this is brilliant and so handy if, like I say, you're new to the game. And number 3 is a fairly simple one, and that is it's just handy having 2 different ports in an emergency. Or say you're just traveling, you don't want to lug about a Rodecaster Pro, you could literally just take the mic, plug it into your laptop, and boom, you've got a pretty decent setup. But away from the USB, what else is different about the Signature series? Not a lot. In terms of specs, absolutely nothing. So don't worry about that. You're not going to lose out on anything if you go for the Signature series. The other big change, one I'm very happy about, is that there's more colors now. There's 6 colors to choose from, which is red, blue, purple, green, pink, and black. The black looks nearly identical to the 5th generation, although it looks slightly shinier. I don't know if that's just because we've used this a bit. I don't know. But unfortunately for all you retro fans, people that have been with the NT1 from the beginning, no light grey. Oh well. Hopefully we can pick up that red model sometime soon, because that would look sweet in the studio. So as there isn't that much to really compare between the two, we might as well just get straight to the sound test. So yeah, this whole video I've been recording on the original NT1, but let's switch over to the NT1 Signature series and see if we can hear a difference. And now I am talking on the Signature series, and I don't hear anything. Just to point out, we do have processing on for both the mics, exactly the same processing. We're using the NT1 preset on the Rodecaster Pro 2. I really do quite like this preset. I think it sounds quite bassy, quite rich. But for the sake of transparency, we'll try them with the preset turned off as well. Okay, so now I'm back on the 5th gen, and this is with processing turned off. Now, this still sounds good. I still like this, but a couple of differences. There's a bit more like background noise, I feel. It doesn't cut out as much, and there just doesn't feel like there's as much depth to my voice. But overall, it's still a great mic. I love this mic. It's so good. I've missed it. I've not used it in ages. Okay, and now we are on the Signature series without processing switched on. And again, I don't really hear much difference. Let's just go on and off. So no processing, processing, no processing, processing. Do you see what I mean about the background noise? That was quite handy actually. A bus just went past as I was doing that. That is kind of essential for our studio, because as much as we've tried to pad it out, we're still in an old building with tiny rickety windows, and there's so much noise. We're in the middle of a city center. So yeah, that sort of processing is essential for us, which is why it's so great that you have the option with the 5th generation to have the USB and then have that on Rode Connect, still have that processing. Obviously you don't get that here, but if you've got a Rodecaster, then you'll be fine. So yeah, really at the end of the day, in terms of the sound, there's not much difference. So do you want that USB? That's basically what it comes down to. So I should mention before we finish up that I've said multiple times now that the NT1 5th generation is my favorite mic ever. So you might be wondering that why don't we use it more in videos? Like, why do I always get out the old Shure SM7B when I'm filming a video? Well, there is a very good reason for that. And that is the only downside I've ever found to the NT1 comes when doing videos. It's not very video friendly. It's quite big, it's quite bulky. The great thing about it for both the Signature series and the 5th generation is you get pretty much everything included. You get a pop shield, you get this lovely grill. You don't get the stand, unfortunately, but that's great. And you also get an XLR cable for both, and obviously you get the USB cable as well for the 5th generation. So that's brilliant for the price. So I love it for all those reasons, but yeah, it's big. You put it on a boom arm, it's going to cover your beautiful chops. You're not going to see anything. And right now it's fine, but you know, it's not the best. But since we did the NT1 review and all those videos back then, the Rode PodMic USB's come out, which also has XLR and USB, and it's more in line with the Shure SM7B, and it's a dynamic mic. So if that's an issue for you, then why not check out the Shure SM7B or the Rode PodMic USB or any of the other great XLR mics that are out there. So yeah, overall then, I still love it. I still love the NT1. I still think it sounds great. I still think it's a great little mic. It isn't quite as exciting to me as the 5th generation, purely because you don't get that, you don't get the USB, you don't get audio clipping, all that sort of business. But overall, the Signature series is still a brilliant XLR mic, still definitely worth picking up. But yeah, I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think it's worth spending that extra money? I know when it came out, there was a much bigger gap than there is seemingly now. I think there was about $100 between them, whereas now, like I say, it's about $46. So I feel like for the extra $46, I reckon go for this signature, just because you kind of like helping yourself out in future in case something goes wrong. But yeah, it's really up to you guys. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Happy broadcasting.
And just before you go, have you ever thought about launching your very own internet radio station? Surprisingly, it's a lot easier than you may think, especially when you make the time to chat to myself or a member of the Radio.co team. To do just that, head to our website, radio.co/demo, where I can talk about your plans, any questions you may have, and me and the team can really get you up to speed in launching your own internet radio station in literally minutes. It couldn't be easier. Why not check out some of our webinars, tutorials, help guides situated around me? Or why not visit our website, radio.co, or even drop me an email, studio@radio.co. Until next time, take care and happy broadcasting.